everybody. Welcome to episode number 115 of the Debt Free Dad podcast. So today we're going to take some time and we are going to be reacting to a few payday loan commercials. But more importantly, we want to take some time and react to these because we want to point out how companies like this and really how the financial industry is using some really slick marketing messages and even touching on some major pain points that a lot of us and a lot of our families have experienced and what most people are kind of dealing with their finances. And they're using these marketing messages and these pain points to sell you their products. We want to kind of show you how they're doing some of this stuff so that you guys can be more aware of this type of advertising to protect your dollars and to stay out of debt. And believe it or not, some of these ads actually make it feel very normal that you would turn to some of these products as well. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Debt Free Dad podcast, where we're helping normal, everyday people learn how to save money and kick debt so they can live a happier and stress-free life. Now here's your host, Debt Free Dad, Brad Nelson.
Hey, how is everyone doing today? You can find me on Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube, and Instagram. Just search Brad Nelson, Debt Free Dad. And as always, guys, welcome to today's show. So excited that you are joining us once again. And remember to get all the resources, show notes, and links for today's show, along with a ton of online content and free courses. Head over to balancedcents.com/115. That's BALANCEDCENTS.com/115. So, guys, before we get to these payday loan commercials, I know for a lot of our listeners out there, you guys know that we're really big on just celebrations and really recognizing, all the small and amazing wins that, people are getting on their journey out of debt. And I got this amazing message just today, right before we were getting ready to record this, from John Tollison. And John sent me this message, and I told John, I was like, I'm going to give you a huge shout out on our next recording. I was like, surprisingly, that's tonight. And I wanted to share this. John sent me a message here today on Facebook. He says, hey, I just started listening to your guys' podcast in the last month or so. Just thought you guys would like to know that we've paid off $28,000 in just the last month. We have saved about $1,000 to our emergency fund, but the way they did it is John decided to sell his truck and was able to pay off $26,000 loan from that, plus an additional $800 in loans and a $400 credit card bill. They are completely debt-free now, except for about a $1,200 loan that they are working on right now, but should have that paid off relatively soon. So I know this was a big win, I thought, and I told John, I was like, one of the hardest things I think for most people to do is to ditch a car. It is probably one of the things that I think most people, I know I was. It was a very stressful transaction of selling. We had a fairly we bought it brand new. It was fairly new. We got rid of that car, and I bought myself a 1996 Toyota Corolla. And I got to tell you, it was not a fun transaction, but I was willing to do it because I was like, I'm so tired of being broke. Like, we've got to make some changes. And so I told John, I was like, man, this is a big win. And I know that was the majority of his debt, but to sacrifice that and to be willing to say no. And I asked him, what prompted you to sell it? He's like, you know what? We just got tired of having the payments and the insurance and all the other stuff that goes with that. He's like, we just didn't want that hanging over our heads anymore. And, they started listening to the show. He got motivated, and here they are. And in 1 month, completely, just by taking some action, blew up their financial life and now is looking at a much less stressful life. I thought that was awesome.
Like you said, it's all those other expenses too, right? I have a truck. We moved from a car to a truck. I got it. But yeah, I don't drive as much because I work from home now. But when I fill that thing up, it hurts, you know, and, the insurance is more. And so, yeah, just kind of doing that. You're not just saving just that loan, but future money as well.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, Amber, I know you've been talking about your gas prices up in Canada. How are those going?
They're bad.
Yeah,
we're expected to get up to $2 a liter.
Oh, okay, so $2 a liter. So that's
about
expensive.
3 point something liters in a gallon, I believe.
Right. So that's getting up to be over $6 a gallon if you're in the U.S.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, here in the States, like to fill up my truck, it's right now, I think I just filled up. It was empty. And I typically don't let it get that way, but it was about $75 to fill it up.
That got us half a tank the other day.
Yeah, crazy times. Another reason why you get control of your finances so you can afford fuel, right?
Right, exactly.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at some of these payday loans. And again, the reason why we're doing some of these reaction episodes again is not to, pick on people that have participated in these or really to tease anybody. It's really just about kind of pulling the covers off of this marketing. Sometimes we hear so much of this stuff. We hear so much about debt products and credit cards and payday loans and personal loans and consolidation. And, it's just never ending when you're constantly offered it over and over again. And not only do you hear it, but your friends and family are hearing it, or you see friends and family using it. Like, it just become so normal that you don't even recognize some of the stuff that you're being told in these ads and things that you're being led to believe are normal. And that's why we're kind of doing this. We want to kind of educate you guys a little bit on this marketing, because in my opinion, it's only getting better. I mean, it really is, especially with the ongoing improvements of technology and cell phones and social media. I mean, it is just unbelievable how sophisticated a lot of this marketing has become. So we just wanted to kind of share that before we do this. Again, this is not meant to pick at anybody who's taken part of these. It's just really to kind of show you, like, hey, this is probably not going to be in your best interests, and here's why.
You work hard. You are constantly striving, saving, persevering. Then life happens.
Okay, hold on a second. So I just want to go back. You work hard, right? Did you hear the words? You're constantly what? Striving. Saving. Persevering, right? Wait a second. I just want you guys to listen to those words, right? And then hear what they're going to offer. Okay, this is what's baffling to me, because if you were constantly saving, striving, and persevering, you would have no need for what they're about to offer you. So let's finish what the rest of this says.
And when it does, we'll be here with in-store and online loans.
Of course they will.
24/7 online access, 5-star customer service, and money as soon as today that will keep you moving forward. Believe in better. Advance America.
All right. So again, why would you need a personal loan or a payday loan, or even, let's just throw credit cards? And I know that this is a payday loan company that's advertising this, but why would you need any of those things if they're using those words that you're already doing this? This is going to keep you moving forward, right? It's going to make you stronger. But come on, like, they're using all of those words against you to make you feel like you're doing stuff the right way. And it's okay, because what we're giving you is also a smart move for all those unexpected expenses that you're supposedly not prepared for because you haven't been doing anything the right way, right? Even though they've just told you that. Man, there's such a flip on words there.
Well, I think, this is classic. This is 100% classic what they do, right? They tug at your heartstrings, right? I do work hard.
Yeah.
I am striving. I'm doing everything I can. And then they kind of swoop in right behind it with, kind of the smiling faces, and we're here 24/7, and it's the better way to, it's the better way, it's like, it's the good, it's confirming your self-belief that you are doing everything right so that they can sell you the debt.
Right.
And the tone is making me feel like I'm getting a hug.
Yeah.
It is.
Right.
I'm like, yes, they want to help me.
Yes. This looks good.
Yeah.
Like, this feels right. This feels good. Right. All right, let's go on to the next one.
One day I was riding by. At that moment, I had an issue going on and I needed some cash quickly. I looked up, I saw the sign. I pulled up, I went inside and immediately felt comfortable. I was greeted with smiling faces. The process took no time at all. Once I got approved, I got the loan and was able to help out in my situation. I had to come back again, and it was like when I walked through the door, I was greeted by, "Hello, Brittany. How's your mom doing? How are things going?" And just to know that I was felt like family and not just a customer meant a lot to me.
Yeah. So again, same thing. I think my favorite part of that whole commercial is at the end. I felt like family, right? Again, another Payday Loan commercial. And again, I think the thing that people may not know if you haven't used payday loans before is that the interest rates on these payday loans are hundreds of percents. Like, we're talking 100, 150, 200, 250% interest. I would love that person like family too. If you think about those things, like, but again, when you're, and as she said in the commercial, and she's right, like all of a sudden something just comes up, right? You need money, you need cash fast, and that's where they get you. And again, a lot of these places, it's almost predatory lending in the way. Like they know these products exist for people who are broke, because people who are managing their finances right, as what kind of goes against the other commercial and the words that they were using, they don't use products like payday loans, right? These are products developed for people who are struggling with their finances, but yet they put it in a light that they are actually helping you. I'm here to tell you, as a financial coach, I can't tell you how many people get stuck in the payday loan cycle, and it is one of the hardest ones to get out of, and it is one of the most costly ones as well. So again, when you're looking at commercials like this, it's easy to be like, oh yeah, this is a legitimate way to do it. And again, we've talked about this statistic on this show before, but people who are under constant financial stress statistically have been proven to make worse financial decisions for their finances. Payday loans is one of those, and this is how they're using some of those marketing messages to get you to do some of this stuff.
But it doesn't feel that bad. Like, coming from me, I've actually used one of these. Yeah. And when you walk in the door and they're telling you, okay, it's going to cost, they don't tell you a percentage. It's going to cost this amount for a week. They go so small in the time frame that it's like, that's just $25, whatever.
Right.
But they're not, it's not, they don't show you the big picture. It's just, I'm going to give you this money. It's just this amount of money that you pay for it. And that's it. And that's all. Right. And you walk out the door and you're feeling great because you just got a bit of a loan. But what gets hard is you get stuck because the next payday comes and you're still short. So you go back, you pay the loan, and you take out another one.
Yep.
And it's this revolving door.
And if you don't change, right, and if you don't change the habits that brought you there to begin with, who's to say that you don't start taking out a second one or a third one, right? And and legitimately, we've had people. I mean, we have people. I coach people who, they don't go out and get a payday loan. I'm sure some people have, but most people aren't getting payday loans to buy something, right? They're getting payday loans because they're missing out on work or an emergency comes up, right? And this is why we are always so big on, you got to build your emergency fund. This is kind of like your insurance policy against using these types of products so that you don't get stuck in this cycle of the payday loan cycle. All right, so this next one, we may have to talk through this a little bit. And just so you guys know, if you're listening to this on the podcast and you'd like to see these videos, we're actually sharing them on our YouTube show. So if you just search Brad Nelson, Debt Free Dad in YouTube, our channel will come up. You can definitely watch these. Then we have all the commercials that we're sharing right now. So we'll try to walk you through this. So right now, you're about to listen to two guys getting into a vehicle. All right. And something happens to the vehicle. We're going to listen in as to how this is going to go.
Something away. Oh, not now. Yeah, dude, that doesn't look good.
All right. So the car literally starts and the car breaks down. As he said, oh, dude, that doesn't look good, right? And how many of us have had this happen, right? We have that car, right? And you're just praying nothing goes wrong with it. Like, you've only got a little bit, maybe a credit remaining on the credit card. Like, you're just not wanting anything to happen, right? And of course, what happens? It shows up at your door. That's what's happening here. So let's listen in.
I know what to do.
What's that?
I'm going to cashnetusa.com. I can apply in minutes, and if approved, I can have the money as soon as the same business day.
Oh, nice save.
Saving the day is easy. With CashNet USA.
Turns into a superhero, right?
Be the hero. Go to cashnetusa.com to apply for the money you need now.
So again,
Be the hero, man.
Yeah,
be the hero.
Be the hero. Right. Oh, man. So again, a common thing that a lot of people deal with is what? Car maintenance, car problems, car issues. And even let's go beyond this payday loan commercial. Look at the banks. Like, I've gone into countless banks, even my own bank, where they say, well, you should have a credit card for emergencies. I mean, how many people have heard that statement? You should always have a credit card just in case of emergencies. I mean, what else would you do? I would have money, right? Instead of using debt, right? But we don't think that way. We're like, oh, debt is that rescue blanket. Debt is that thing that's going to save you. And here again, when we talk about the normalization and making these ideas normal, that you would just go to either a payday loan or a credit card or whatever it might be, some sort of a debt product to rescue you. This is a perfect example of one of those commercials and why you would do that, right? It's just normal.
Well, and I think that's the big thing out of this one is it's the normalization of what's considered an emergency, right? And so if you own a car, if you're listening to this, you own a car, I'm going to tell you, it's going to break. It is not something that you're going to wake up one day and should be shocked that there's something wrong with your car. It's a machine. It's going to have a problem with it. But it's become so normal. My son took a finance class in high school. I know lots of people say we should teach finance in high school. I would say that when you have teachers saying, hey, you shouldn't ever use credit cards unless it's for an emergency. Like if you need tires or if your car needs like repaired, it's like that's exactly what this is. It's just that those people have been normalized to think that a car repair. Now, I'm not saying there's certain car repairs that might be a lot of money, but for the most part,
absolutely,
the idea that most car repairs should just be considered an emergency and you should charge, or in this case, be the hero and take out a 300% loan to fix it and rely on that as your way to fix it is just crazy.
Yeah. You're never going to get out of that situation. Like you're to think that you're going to use a resource like this and you're going to be successful not only in making that making that transaction, but also paying that back and being ready for the next one. It's like, no, this is like getting yourself into that constant cycle of, and whether it's a payday loan or not, it's just that constant cycle and reliability on using debt products. And this is, again, why most people never get out of debt, because they never really break that actual cycle of using it. And whether that be for emergencies, whether that be for purchases, whatever it might be, at some point you have to draw a line and say, we're just no longer going to be able to use that as a resource to fix our problems. And ultimately, when we say that, fix our problems, is actually just creating more, right? That's the only way you can do it, is by drawing the line and saying, no, we're just not going to do this anymore, right? Let's go on to the next one.
That should hold it for now.
Okay, first of all, I just like this commercial. So anyways, for you guys listening on the podcast, there's a guy in the kitchen with his wife, and he just put down some tools on the counter, and he just got done with his home improvement project. And this reminds me of me, by the way. Telling my wife, don't worry, I fixed it. It's perfect, right? One day I'll have to share the bathroom incident that we had when we first moved into the house that we're in. Oh, it's so funny, but this reminds me of that. But this is what's happening. So let's see.
What should we do?
What should we do? All right. So again, if you're listening, so basically there's a water leak, ceiling busts out, water dumps all over the guy, and you heard him. What should we do? Right? By the way, that's tremendous acting right there. So funny. All right, let's listen.
I know what to do.
You do?
I'm going to cashnetusa.com. I can apply in minutes, and if approved, we can have the money in our account as soon as the same business day.
You're my hero.
Saving the day is easy with CashNet USA.
When you need money fast, be the hero. Go to cashnetusa.com to apply for the money you need now.
So again, same example. You've got a typical, we talk about this a lot. I talk about it a lot. A lot of people miss this when they're buying a house. It's like stuff's going to break in the house, right? But again, going through and normalizing, when you've got a house problem, you just use debt. You use payday loans, you use credit cards. And again, just normalizing the whole idea of staying in debt.
And again, I mean, they're going all in on the Be the Hero campaign, right? I mean, they're just going to kind of beat that into you. Like, I'm going to save the day, they got to put that positive spin.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Right. Again, makes you feel good and again, makes you feel smart. Like, this is a smart idea. Normal people do this, right? It's okay. Right. They're comforting you.
Well, I think it's even important when you look at both of these, if you watch these, if you go to the YouTube channel and you watch these, they show, they're showing things like in good shape, like just every day, like, the car that broke down, it was a nice car, they didn't put some, $1,000 car in the commercial that's going to break. It's a nice looking car. And so they kind of just put this idea in your mind that these are just normal, everyday, hardworking individuals that just out of the blue stuff happens and you got to take care of it.
Right. And this is the tool to do it, right? Debt in general. All right. Last one we're going to show you.
We need some help.
Okay. So wife is sitting at the table, looks at bills, past due. Husband says, we need some help, right?
I know. I'm going to cashnetusa.com. And if approved, we can have the money in our account as soon as the same business day.
Go to cashnetusa.com to apply for the money you need.
Be the hero, right?
I think I'd almost rather be late on the payments than being the hero in that situation.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? That's what I was thinking too. I'm glad you said that, because I'm like, maybe I'll just take the late fee, right? So again, by sharing these, I hope we've proven a point, and I hope you're starting to see some of this. If you've been listening to this show and you've been starting to think differently, it's a big thing that we talk about in Roots Personal Finance. One of the keys to changing your behavior is starting to challenge everyday normal thinking when it comes to these debt products, and listening to some of these commercials and seeing how they sell and pitch these things, or even when you're in line at the retail store and they're offering you their credit card or whatever. Like, listen to the words that they're saying. Listen how they're offering this stuff to you. I remember going to a bank with my wife, and we were sitting down. We weren't even there for a credit card, and the banker who was talking to us offered us one of their credit cards, and one of the ways that they pitched it to me, they didn't know what I did for a living, was, well, you can make money. You can make money using this credit card. And and Sarah looks at me. She's like, don't you do it. Don't you? I'm like, you got to be kidding me right now. I was like, please tell me, please share with me how people make money using a credit card. Now, I know that there's probably few people out there that can manage to do it. But what they don't tell you is that the majority of people are losing the credit card game because they're carrying around revolving credit card debt. They're not paying it off every month, but that's how they get you in, to make you think it's good, it's smart, you can make money, right? But it's just not all it's cracked up to be. Hey, if you love planners, this is for you. But you know why planners frustrate me? Because they only really get it half right. Now, sure, they're really good and fancy about helping you manage your time, which is really important, obviously. That's what a planner's for. But where they get it wrong is money, the second most valuable resource in our lives. Most planners don't include any financial planning, things like, keeping track of paydays, bills, due dates, spending, yearly expenses, budgets, cash flow planning, debt elimination plans, and goal planning, right? None of that stuff. That's a real pain. And then what? Then you got to create your own in some silly binder, right? And who has time for all of that stuff? So instead, what happens? Nothing, right? A lot of people tend to ignore their finances even more, and things only get worse. Well, that all ends today, because I am so excited to announce and release my brand new, totally awesome Debt Freedom Planner. This thing's awesome, by the way. Now, before you say, Brad, I've already got a planner. This is not an ordinary day planner. This is the Debt Freedom Planner, which is a companion tool that works with your day planner, and it's built to help you manage your money, pay off more debt, and melt away financial stress. And I believe this is the tool that a lot of people who want to take control of their finances have been waiting for. So head on over to therealdebtfreedad.com, click on the Debt Freedom Planner in the menu to get access to your planner today.
Hey, what's this I see? I thought this was a party! Let's
All right. That means it's time for the celebrations of the show. And today we are kicking it off with Kristen Helg. Kristen says, I paid off 2 credit cards this week. Kristen, huge congratulations to you. Great wins.
Amy Bosch Whitney had an emergency come up and we used our emergency fund to pay for it. In the past, we would have used credit cards or asked my parents for help. Now to build our emergency fund back up. So grateful for this account.
That is, didn't we just have a whole podcast episode on this? Right?
Yeah.
There it is. Proof that it works. An emergency fund. Imagine that. Build it. It'll save your life. I love it. Great win, Amy.
Nicole Villines. Emergency fund is up to $600, and I've written out a rough draft budget. Still trying to figure out the best way to budget for my irregular weekly paycheck, but I will get there.
Awesome. Great job, Nicole. Yep, irregular income is a tough one to manage. And by the way, if you're listening to the show and looking for a awesome budgeting workshop, we got one right on our website. It's, in fact, the budgeting workshop that we give our Roots members for $10. You're going to get everything that we can teach you about budgeting, including budgeting forms. And that actually goes through different paydays and paying, budgeting irregular income, bi-weekly, so on and forth. It covers everything. So make sure you guys go check that out. Gina Christie, I have not spent any money on eating out or impulse buys this week. Huge behavior win for me, Gina. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Ashley Wood paid off 1 credit card yesterday and working on the next one. I just called my internet and cut that cost down to half of what I was paying using cash for groceries today so I don't overspend on items not on my list.
Amazing. Great job, Ashley.
Ann Rusidis paid off another loan early and reestablished my emergency fund. This is huge for us.
Awesome. Huge congratulations to you, Ann, and huge congratulations to all of you guys who are working so hard at reaching financial freedom. And remember to get all the resources, show notes, and links for today's show. Head over to balancesense.com/115. That's BALANCENTS.com/115. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us here today. We love your feedback, and it also helps us grow our YouTube show. So please give us a like or leave us some honest feedback on this video. And if you want the latest from the show, obviously be sure to hit that notification bell and subscribe to our channel. And for the latest resources, or if you want more information on how to kick debt and financial stress, please be sure to check out the links in this video or head over to therealdebtfreedad.com. We'll see you guys on an upcoming show. Take care.